Tell me your dreams over bacon and eggs. We'll share a laugh and a story and even a wish on the breakfast dish. Bop, 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 bop.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the 17th episode of The Breakfast Dish. Last episode, I did do some housekeeping notes about someone in the podcast being hungover, and I want it to be known here and now that
it was me.
none of us are. Oh, what? Sorry, what did you say, Karen?
Were you going to tell them it was me that was hungover last week?
I really appreciate you coming forward because, I didn't want to out you on the, I appreciate, I like your honesty is all I'm saying.
I don't think you said hungover on anything particular. So I get sugar hangovers from too many donuts. I admit to that.
I don't think that's right. Okay, so you're suggesting that it was a sucrose hangover?
There was a time, let me tell you this, there was a time back when the theater bar in Calgary was still open, the Auburn, and I would go in the Auburn, and I'm a non-drinker. I'm a total non-drinker, so I would have Shirley Temple after Shirley Temple, and I would get so loopy on sugar that I remember one night Michael Howard coming up and asking me if he could have my keys because he didn't think I should drive home.
Is that real? Is that a real story?
That's absolutely real. He didn't think I should drive home. Because I was like, ooh, loo, loo, loo. And people are like, why don't you drink, Karen? And I'm like, do I need to? Seriously.
Sorry, I want to clarify this. You had too many, give me a number, 3, 4?
You know when kids get high on sugar? I'd probably had 5 Shirley Temples that night. I don't know. It was the opening of something. I have no idea.
I don't know. I blacked out. I don't know how many Shirley Temples I had.
And in fact, at the Auburn, Jesse used to make them. But because I thought it sounded childish to ask for a Shirley Temple, he named them the Temple Black, because when Shirley Temple got married and she was older, she was fancy, she was Shirley Temple Black. So when I ordered them, I'd say, could I have a Temple Black? And it made me feel so important, and he put them in a martini glass. So I could see why people would actually think, if they didn't know me, that I was drinking.
Wait, a martini glass? Don't you have to have like a lot of orange juice to have a Shirley Temple?
Maybe it was just grenadine. Maybe that's why Mike
right,
thought
so
I
then,
needed
yes.
to drive
So
home.
this all makes sense then. I understand. Karen, you 5-drink loopy. Tell us about why we do the breakfast dish.
Once upon a time, I used to invite people for breakfast and just take pictures of them and put them on Facebook and talk about how great they were, whether I knew them or not. I would go for breakfast with them and get to know them better and then tell the world why I thought they should know them. And then stay away from each other's times happened, and I still want to meet people that I don't know. And also, being in the arts, as are you, as is our guest, we wanted to talk about all the art things happening during stay away from each other times that are online or are live and in distant or are audio or are implied art.
Sorry,
Either
can I go
way.
back on that fourth one? What's the implied art?
Well, it's things like just sit there and imagine the great things we could be doing if it wasn't stay away from each other times. That's what it is. But either way, this podcast combines my love for meeting new people and finding out all about them, even if they're not new to me, because our guest isn't new to me, but I don't know a ton about her. And it combines that and a way to talk about all the things that we can be watching, listening to, hearing, or experiencing in the world of art in Canada right now. I'm not finished the sentence. I know you want to jump in. I'm still talking.
I'm actually not finished, so if you could just hold on for a second, I'm still talking. Well, you know what? If you don't know a lot about her, let's jump in. Today we are joined by Tara Jackson. Tara, how are you?
Hello. I'm surviving. That is my answer.
Yes.
In this pandemic. Surviving.
Yeah, that's a really great answer.
I
was in the bridal party for one of my friend's wedding in August, and there was 14 of us, and we all just stood really far apart. But I asked one of the guys how he was, and he kind of looked into the distance, and he went, "In the grand scheme of things, I lack nothing." And I went, yeah, that's a pretty good, all right.
Oh, that's a great answer. Great.
I don't think I've ever answered that question recently without just saying, I'm okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of you want to be honest. I think we're past the I'm great or I'm good. I feel like that's the go-to kind of, how are you? I'm good. No, I'm not good. I could be better.
Yeah.
I'm surviving. We're in a global pandemic in 2020 and it's been 7 months. I'm not okay, but
No.
I'm here.
Yeah, there's a lot bad. So if I said I was good, I'm not that great.
Yeah. But today's a good day. Every day's new. Here we are. I'm on this podcast. Let's go.
My husband and Griffin's father always answered the question, "How are you?" with "fat and sassy."
Oh,
That's always his answer.
amazing. Perfect.
I think I'm just going to take that one up now.
You know what? I might too.
Yeah. So before we jump into business, as we tend to do
Ooh.
on the Breakfast Dish, I have a quick story about me and Tara Jackson.
Okay.
Do I wait? Do I want to hear this?
What? Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
Mom.
Well, we did a lot of cocaine and killed someone. Anyway, on to the Mother and Son podcast.
We're supposed to tell them.
I told you that in confidence. No, I was heading to my first commercial audition in a while, like 3 years since my last commercial one. And commercial ones are weird. They give you maybe 3 lines to say,
Yeah.
and they might have some through line, but maybe they don't. And they're, who knows if all the lines fit together.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, well, let's go do the thing. And I walk in the room, and Tara Jackson is sitting there in the waiting room with me, and I went, okay. Like for some reason, seeing Tara, I was like, we're gonna be fine. And then it turns out Tara was also my audition partner.
Yay!
So we just like to go in there with the confidence of like, all right, no, we got quality people here. We're going in nice.
It's a little narcissistic, Griffin.
Right. Sorry. I guess
Listen,
I was
it was great.
more so talking about Tara, not me. Good God.
Listen, it was great. It's always good to see a familiar face.
Mm-hmm.
What has it been like actually during Stay Away from Each Other times? Are you finding that there's more, I don't know, are you getting lots of requests for self-tapes or film and TV stuff? Has that been coming up?
Yeah, there's quite a bit of film and TV auditions. A little bit of work, but definitely more auditions, which is always the case, I feel. And then a lot of things I think have transitioned to that where they would be in person, right? So it's just like kind of that influx as well. So there's stuff, but it's also, this is already a competitive industry. And when you're auditioning most of the time, sometimes you're working, sometimes you're not. But now all of us are out of work and all going for this stuff.
Mhm.
So it's like that much more competitive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, there's been stuff. It's just been few and far between.
Yeah.
So.
Well, as few and far between as they may seem, you have been staying pretty busy because we've brought you on the show this episode today to talk about musical tokens.
Yay, musical tokens. Yay.
Yay.
I don't know who did your website design. I love your website design. Who did it?
Oh, thank you. So we use GoDaddy, and it's very simple. And Massini, I need to give Massini most of the credit because she did most of it in the beginning. And then she kind of taught me how she did it. And now we just go in there whenever we need to edit and all that stuff. But GoDaddy is the hero and Massini is the hero.
And this is a plug. Massini is your co-founder?
Yes, and my sister.
She is not Calgarian, though, am I right?
No, she's from Toronto.
We already kind of touched on it, but why don't you start getting into the history and the formation of musical tokens?
So, Musical Tokens is an online platform for women of color in the Canadian musical theater industry currently. So that is kind of in a nutshell what it is. And we just felt it necessary to create this space because what better way than to make your own, right? And we had the time, finally, silver linings of COVID. We had the time to kind of sit down and figure out what we wanted to do because we had talked about it since we kind of met each other. And our friendship developed. We were always thinking about doing some type of something, but we weren't sure what it was going to be. And then we fell upon Musical Tokens, and she was born, and she's here to stay.
Yay!
And how did you meet Massini?
We met doing The Color Purple in Halifax at Neptune.
And you guys took that show everywhere, if I'm right?
We did. Well, it feels like everywhere. It's kind of not. We were in Halifax, and then there was another production that was a co-pro between the Citadel in Edmonton and RMTC in Winnipeg. So, yeah, we did it thrice, which was lovely.
Thrice. Oh my gosh, I love when people use the word thrice.
Me too. It's so good.
It never gets you. I'm sorry, that was a total non sequitur, but I love that word.
Me too.
Is there a further life? What was there to be more productions of Color Purple before Stay Away from Each Other times?
Not that we knew about.
I bet there will be, because holy crap, the buzz.
Speaking of that, I believe you won a Sterling Award for that. Am I right about that? Do you want to talk about that?
Sure, I guess. I don't know. So
I know. You have to talk about your good. You have to talk about your accolades.
it's weird.
That's what we demand.
It's weird. Yeah, I won a Sterling for, I want to say like outstanding lead performance in a musical for a drama role. And then the production won a bunch, like director, music director, production, supporting actress. Yeah, so it just like, it's a great show and a great production. All three of them were. And yeah, I'm very proud of it. Very, very proud of it.
Yeah.
I love that you just said the award that you won, but you don't actually know what it was for. Like, I think that is a huge, no, seriously. I think that says a lot about a person when you're like, yeah, there's something, somebody recognized me for something. Thanks very much. But you're not like, I won the best performance by a bubbity bubbity.
No,
That's right. How dare you not know?
it's something performance. I don't know.
Something's Elizabeth Sterling.
Drama. I don't know.
Did the cast change ever between the three cities?
Yeah, it did. So the cast in Edmonton and Winnipeg is the same, but the Halifax cast is different. I want to say the core kind of group. So myself, Shug Avery, who was Karen Birthright, Sophia, who was Janelle Cooper, uh, Ryan Allen played Mr. Andrew Broderick played Harpo, Massini McDermott was a church lady, Sarah Neern was a church lady. So there was like some people that were the same. Oh, Tanaj as well, who was Grady. And then everyone else was kind of shuffled around and different, which was cool. It was like a totally new show, which was great.
So cool. There's good people on that list you just came up with. Like, you say names like Janelle and Tanaj, and I just go,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
I know. The best.
I know them. I claim them.
Yes.
I claim being related to them.
The city claims them. Hello.
I don't claim them at all. I just know that I met them while living in my city, therefore they are mine.
And and in fact, I think I saw maybe a profile of Janelle on Musical Tokens. Am I right about that?
Yeah, she is on there. So she is on our Tokens in Theater page. So that is the page where you can just kind of click on different women's photos, and it kind of goes to a page of like their production photos, and there's videos as well from several productions. It's just a place to like see their work.
I'm really impressed because I believe you guys started around like officially in like April or May. Am I right about that?
March. I think we launched, I want to say March 11. Is that a lie? March something.
Perfect.
We started. So I don't know. Time is not a concept anymore. So
Yep.
I really think the brand that you guys have established with Musical Tokens is really impressive because it is in its formation to be a platform to support women in color in musical theater in Canada is very apparent in terms of, like you mentioned, the production photos, the production videos. But then you can bring some artists on to have like these like really intense, like I think they're around 15 to 20-minute interviews and discussions about like tokenism. And there's the one video embracing your indigeneity. Like where there is a lot of celebrating in terms of their work, but also, you know, getting into the kind of nitty-gritty necessary conversations that need to happen in conjunction with promoting.
definitely. Yeah. So along with uplifting these women of color and friends and, you know, people in our industry, we thought it important to have the conversations that a lot of people don't want to have. And I think it's so timely with, you know, what's been going on racially kind of in this time, right? I think it's important to address these things, like why, you know, so like you said, the example of exploring her indigeneity, that was one of the videos. We're talking about white seeming indigenous people who are coming in and explaining their story and explaining how they feel when they walk into a room. We talk to Black actors, how they feel when they walk into a room. Talk to other women of color and how they feel when they walk into a room. It's just really important to not only see them and see what they can do, but also hear their experiences, because it's so often that our voices are a bit muted. So we just feel the need to amplify more than anything.
There's a great web series that was filmed out in Vancouver, I think, just called Tokens, and it kind of explores like I think purely just the film casting element of tokenism. So they do a lot of
Right.
spoof, like they will just be like, "Hi, I'm reading for Chinese food store owner. Hi, I'm reading for bodyguard." Like just terrible
Yeah.
stuff like that. So in terms
Yeah.
of like the tokenistic roles, it was kind of an issue that I was already aware of, but one that I didn't know when I learned about it, I was like, oh my god, of course there's tokenistic roles and, you know, poorly written casting calls and all that terrible stuff,
Yes.
but
Oh my
also
goodness.
I think it was, I don't remember exactly when it was, but learning about, the tokenistic feelings that happen when you're the token in the room. Like you have the job and you're there representing
Yep.
an entire people, like having to
Yep.
uphold those. That's which is insane.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure. Like, I feel like, as we're all actors, performers, is you walk into the room, you already have not something to prove, but you're here to do your job and you've been hired for a reason, but you want to do well and you want to, show up and be professional. And then on top of that, when you walk in and you're the only one who looks like you, sounds like you, is casted to be a stereotype of who they think you are, it's like so much more pressure. And people, it's like that kind of unsaid thing in the room is just like, when I feel like I'll equate it to when you're in high school or junior high and you're reading the books, like To Kill a Mockingbird or any of those books, and they say the N word, and everyone turns and like looks at you in the class, and they're like, "Ooh, how does she feel?" Like it's kind of like that.
That's a really interesting analogy.
It's just that's kind of the feeling I would equate it to. It's like all eyes are on you, but no one's really saying anything. And you're kind of just there, like, guys, I'm just a person. I just happen to be a black person. It's really okay. We can all do our job. It's fine. So, yes, normalize people.
I just don't think it's things people think about a lot. Or like,
Hmm.
before I certainly didn't. I'm a straight white guy. So in
Right,
no room do I go into and go, I have to represent all white guys
right,
appropriately. I'll just go, yeah, I'll show up to my own podcast hungover and that's fine. Like
right.
that is like, which is just irresponsible.
You're reading the wars and people are looking at you going, oh, what does that straight white man think about this?
That's right. I can't wait to hear that white guy read Macbeth.
Oh my
Awesome.
God. Correct, correct. Yeah, different world.
What is your favorite moment ever? Like, I know in your when you did your intro video with Massini,
Hmm.
you called A Color Purple a life changing
Absolutely. Yes.
production or a life changing experience. And so that I might know the answer already, but what is your as a woman in musical theater best memory? Your favorite role, the thing that sticks with you the most?
I mean, yeah, the answer for sure is Sealy because it's so like I mean, it killed me. Like I'm not gonna lie, it killed me. It took everything I had, and I still feel the effects from it today, which are good and bad, right? It's you throw yourself into a role and you carry all of that stuff with you. You carry the ancestors with you. You carry the story. You carry all that stuff into your life, which you do with any role. And yeah, I just like through and through and through, I learn from her still to this day. Every day, there's something. Her forgiveness, her resilience, her strength, her courage, all of it. Like it's just such a human story. And I say that often when I talk about this because when you look at The Color Purple, you may think on the outside, you're like, oh, this is a Black woman's story. Oh, this is an American woman's story. Like, no, it's a very human story. Everybody
Mhm.
can connect to some part of the story. You may not connect necessarily with Celie, but the people who are in her life, the lights that she comes across, everybody can connect with them. So she is, and that show is, and probably will forever be like the top. I don't want to cap it. I'm not putting a ceiling on it, but right now, and I can't really see anything else going beyond that in a certain way, just because it's just like so.
Oh no, see, I
I don't really know how to put words to it.
no, that's wonderful. Like just watching your face as you talk about it, and
Karen and I got a real treat in that we have video. Our listeners
yeah,
don't get it, so too bad.
just the
Yes, video.
just the love that expanded your chest while you were talking about that was amazing.
Yeah.
Who are your I don't I guess inspirations, mentors maybe, but who have you looked up to through your career going one day?
Hmm. That's a really great question, and I feel like I don't have a great answer.
And it changes, right? Like one day you love this person, the next day you want to be, but
Exactly. Exactly. I came to theater really, really late in my career. I'm not a theater baby. I didn't grow up loving musical theater, or really knowing musical theater. I still feel like I don't know much about it aside from what I've done and what I've seen. So my mentors are the people that I've met, some of the people that I've met while getting to work. the first person that comes to mind right now is Kimberly Rampersad because she directed Me in the Color Purple, and that woman is a force. And I mean that in every sense of the word. She's a force. She is power. She is strength. She is vulnerable. She's beautiful. Like it just everything you need in a human and then a director, she is times infinity. And I learned so much from her. I continue to learn from her. She's doing big things, big ups to her. She's definitely a mentor and someone I look up to. Um, I would also say my mom, which might sound like cliche and like, oh no.
No, I love you. I love you for
Yeah, I was
saying
gonna
that.
say this is the podcast to do that.
Yep.
You know, I just like she gave me life, one. Her and dad, but like mom gave me life. And
Yeah, no, the mom works harder. Let's talk about that.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. And she just I I admire the way this might sound conceited. I admire the way that she admires me. Like she is my biggest supporter. She roots for me. She's always in my corner. She's like I just I love her. Like she annoys me, don't get me wrong. She annoys me like so much, but I love her and she just like wants makes me want to be better because I want to make her proud. So yeah, I look up to her and she I don't know. I can just go to her with anything, theater related or not. Um who else?
Those are two very good answers.
Yeah,
Those two women for sure.
those are great answers.
Hmm.
I don't. I need you to clarify though that your mother annoys you. Like I don't understand how that would happen.
Well, you know,
Like,
there's
Griffin.
like
What does that mean?
Sorry. Yes. What's up?
I just wanted to know what it means, like to have your mother annoy you. I don't get it. I don't. I'm
Woo.
not. I just need you to explain it to me.
I've never.
But just
I mean, I
get
don't
a
know what Tara's
Kleenex
talking
because
about.
you need to wipe your nose, honey.
Oh,
you need to wipe your nose. Get a
interesting.
Kleenex.
Do you remember last time how we talked about that you can't expose me on a visual medium? That's the deal. We're doing a podcast.
Was your mom musical? Has she grown up in a musical life? Is she a singer, or did she just see you walking around singing one day and go, "I know where I want to"?
You gotta get out there.
Yeah.
Listen, both my parents are very musical people. My mom definitely can't sing. Like, sorry, mom, love you, but you can't. My dad can, like, probably if he had lessons, he would be like mediocre, right? Like, sorry, parents. But my mom was a professional dancer
Oh,
for years, like, for a very, very long time before she decided to have family and move into fitness, which is great. But yeah, so both my parents are super musical, and I have been singing since I could talk. She loves to tell the story where I was like 3 in my car seat in the car singing Sweet Cherry Pie word for word, just in the car rocking it out. I don't remember that at all, but she does.
That's amazing.
So here we are, 3 years old singing, and you know, I sang all the time, and then finally I was at we used to vacation in Panorama, BC, the like resort there, and they had karaoke every whatever Thursday. And so I decided I wanted to go up and sing, and mom and dad go, I mean, I guess, because all the kids were really bad, right? Like
yeah.
little kids in karaoke, it's just like annoying, not always great.
Yep.
But like karaoke's supposed to be fun, so whatever. Anyway, so I decided I wanted to sing We Go Together from Grease because that was my all-time favorite movie musical, all-time favorite. So they're like, all right, go ahead. I go up and they're listening. They're like, oh, this kid isn't half bad. Who was it? It was her. So
Yeah.
mom was like, all right, we're putting you into lessons if that's what you want to do. And the rest is history.
That's a really excellent karaoke choice. The only song that I remember singing karaoke as a kid is the Flintstones theme
Oh, yeah,
song
that's great.
in I think we were in Cabo San Lucas. No, it wasn't great because I didn't actually know the Flintstones theme song. I knew
Aw.
Flintstones. They're the Flintstones. They're the modern Stone Age family. And that's it.
That's it.
There's more lyrics that I didn't know about when I got up there because
Yeah,
I was
fair.
10. And my parents went, yeah, go do it. You'll
They're
be fine up
encouraging.
there, kid. Because that's my father. My dad will go, definitely, Karen, get the camera.
Griffin once, we went to Disneyland when Griffin was like 2.5, and we were listening to some Dixieland band or something, and Griffin gets out of his stroller and starts dancing.
Aw.
My husband takes his hat off and puts it on the ground. to try to get people to throw money into Griffin's hat.
Did it work?
Tough to say.
Yes, it did. Somebody threw $5 in your hat. Didn't he give it to you? He's a terrible father.
He's a financial planner. He might have put it in an RSP for me or
Smart.
something, or better have.
Probably.
I'll sue him now, I guess. What is one role in musical theater or theater that you wanted to do? And I mean any role. Mary Poppins, Sweeney Todd, anything. What is there anything that you've that like there's like a certain kind of like there you have songs they love, there's a really monologue that you want to do? Like what is there one role, any role ever?
Yeah, it's gonna be a super basic answer because, like I said, late to theater, Nala from The Lion King.
That's a great answer.
Totally.
Gotta do it. I need to do it. I have to do it. So, dear universe, one day.
Have you seen that live?
Yes, ma'am. Oh, it's beautiful. It's an experience. It's like a spiritual experience.
It is. Like, I can't even, I've seen it 3 times now and I am never not wowed. I made Griffin go and I'm like, no,
Yeah,
you
it's
have
amazing.
to have the aisle seat because I know what's going to happen right now.
Yeah.
Sit in the aisle.
Totally.
All right, I want to touch a little bit about your future plans for Musical Tokens because you guys are doing interviews, you guys are doing feature videos, but I heard mention, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm going to, that you might eventually start doing like master classes and workshops like under a Musical Tokens umbrella.
Yeah, so this is the idea. We are very ambitious. We have a lot of ideas, and it's funny, we were talking yesterday about kind of the future, where we want to go, what we want to do. We it's difficult right now because the theater industry feels like it's in a pause, right? Like nothing's really happening. There's things happening, but not as much as there will be whenever we can move to the next phase of past COVID times. So yeah, we're kind of talking about doing some kind of master classes, and whether that's, facilitated by myself or by Massini or by somebody on our platform. Like there's a lot of great women on our website who are really great at different things, and we would love to have them kind of do master classes, whether it's dissecting a song or just talking about getting into the industry or talking about Broadway or talking about whatever the case may be. Yeah, we really want to branch out into a kind of more interactive thing because I love doing the interviews. I love talking to select groups of women, but we want to open it up more to everybody as much because it feels so niche, like women of color, Canadian musical theater. But we want to make it a little bit wider as far as who can partake in musical tokens, if that makes sense.
And when you say partake, do you mean you'll start amplifying other people, or do you mean just in terms of like your content?
Yeah.
Because in watching some of the videos, I don't think that I ever felt discluded at all. Like it
Okay,
obviously
good.
it's
Great.
like new experiences that I'm learning about, but I was never like, this isn't for me. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the thing is we don't want it as niche as it is. We're not doing this. It's not like it's about women of color, but it's for everybody.
Yeah,
Like
totally.
we don't want it to be. It's not like we don't need to. We're not learning from these conversations like we are, but this isn't new to us. We need the people who don't normally hear these conversations to hear them. So we're inviting everybody else into the mix to come listen and partake. So when I'm talking about master classes and things, that would be offered to everybody. We're not just going to be like, oh, you people here from Calgary
Right,
are the
right.
only people allowed in this master class.
Right.
No, it's going to be open to whomever, wherever kind of deal. Yeah, because we want everyone to feel welcome in the space, even though it is space for us women.
To anyone listening, I do really recommend checking out the interview videos because there's one question that they ask, which is in rollerblades, pirouette or jeté? No, or fuerte maybe? What is it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So watching the interviews go, oh my God. And there was I don't remember what her name was, but there was one woman that I was like, I would do a safe, sensible pirouette, but if I was in ice skates,
yes.
boy oh boy, you'd get a fuerte.
Absolutely.
It's just a really nice like energy and culture of like fun. You really see You really, I like what you said in terms of like the learning is not for us because it's nothing new to us. So you even in like the first few minutes, you see the kind of connection that you and your interviewees have formed, even just off of that shared experience.
Right. Exactly.
Like it's really easy to see how you relate to each other, and that makes like instant chemistry. Like they're frankly really entertaining videos.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
I want to know what show led to that question. Like, would you rather do a pirouette or a jeté and rollerblades?
Nothing in particular.
Okay, good.
Like, I don't know, Xanadu maybe? I don't know.
That's the only show that I know that has rollerblades.
Okay, side note, I went to see the Donkey Show in Chicago, which is a disco 1970s on roller skates retelling of Midsummer Night's Dream using only 1970s music.
Wow.
Seriously, there was lots of fancy dance moves that I don't know what they are on roller skates in that show. But they were quads, man. They were quads, not blades.
I forgot that you have strong opinions about roller uses on your feet.
Okay, so I want to do a question like the rollerblades jeté or whatever.
Oh no.
Are you thinking of one to ask Tara, or do you want Tara to ask one of us?
Oh, okay, that. I want to ask Tara a
Oh my
question
goodness.
along those lines, and then I want Tara to ask us something along those lines.
A peek at the end of the episode, we always ask our guest one breakfast-themed question that Karen improvises. So so we'll return the favor, we promise.
Yeah, okay, so ask us something.
Oh goodness.
I just like these. These are my favorite things. Questions that are wackadoodle.
Okay, let's do the classic question, which you may have already asked people, but I'm going to ask you because I'm always curious for answers. What would your superpower be?
Oh, I love this question.
It's great.
Every time I'm asked this, I always immediately lean towards mind control or mind reading. Like it feels something that you couldn't really. I mean, there could be a lot of problems, but like if I say flying, like does that mean flying also gets super healing? Could I fly into a building and die? Like what does flying mean?
Right.
But like mind, oh man, and mind reading, like could I shut it off? Because the big question that I always ask is, am I the only one with superpowers, or do I have to consider that I have to fight someone else?
Right.
Because
I never
mind
thought
reading
about that.
won't do. It won't do anything if someone has flame hands. Then I'm dead. So, but there's one that I can't remember. One of my friends told me that I think they got from somewhere else. Is they just said the ability to fill things. And I went, what do you mean?
Oh.
And he goes, fill your drink, fill your bank account, fill someone with too much blood. That's how you fight.
Oh,
like,
nice.
Just fill empty containers with whatever. And I started really thinking about that. I was like, yeah, that's kind of anything.
That's great.
So that I'm gonna steal my friend's answer, like my friend stole it from whatever internet video he got it from. Filling.
Great. We'll take that for what it is.
That's my superhero name is Phil.
The Phil.
Oh,
the filler.
The Phil.
It keeps getting better. It just.
we have to stop. Karen, you go.
I don't think it's a superpower. I just remember reading somewhere. I can't even remember where I read it. It was a funny author or something. Anyway, somebody, wish I could remember the author, said, I think that we could solve all the wars in the world and all the hatred by just flying over countries and dropping thousands and thousands and millions of boxes of Crayola crayons, the 64 pack with the sharpener in the side and the silver and gold colors. I'd like to be able to just stop an argument with, I don't know, I would drop donuts or something. Like the ability to just to like form a donut. Somebody's yelling at somebody on Facebook and I can somehow give them a donut and they love their donut so much that they shut up and listen to the other person, and then there's donut love. That's what I would like to do.
I will say, this does sound like mind control.
I guess it is mind control.
End all the wars with a crayon sharpener.
It's mind control with donuts. But seriously, now think about it just for a second. At 54, if I got a brand new box of Crayola crayons right now, I never grow out of that feeling. The box with the silver and the gold in it and the sharpener on the side.
I know.
So it's something about that. The superpower is like something about offering a happy distraction. How's that?
I love that. That's great.
I'm the happy distractor. And I fly alongside Dr. Phil.
The two of you. What a team.
I can't fly. I can only. I have lots of burns from the fire hands guy.
Flame hands.
What's yours, Tara?
Mine is the ability to control time. So time manipulation, if you will.
Ah.
I just have.
That's so good.
I've always pictured, and don't ask me why, I don't know why. I've always pictured the first thing I would do is freeze time, go to an Esso, specifically an Esso gas station, and take all of the O. Henrys. That would be the first thing I do. Don't ask me why. I just know that that would be it. I'd be like, stop everything.
You've been thinking about this a long time.
It's been like, I want to say a healthy decade plus since I've had this answer.
I can't. I can't.
You're welcome.
There's like 4 places that I could think of that have a higher supply of O. Henrys.
I know, but for some reason it's an Esso gas station. I don't know why.
That is my favorite
Was there one close to you growing up?
Yeah, there was, but like, I don't know if it needs to be that Esso. An Esso.
I have to stop time because I have to go back there.
Gotta go.
You know what, though? If that's the Esso that you used to be able to go to buy a treat, like when I was first old enough to walk away from my grandma's place down the highway to the Husky in the Cusp, Alberta,
Right.
it was going to the Husky to get a Lick-a-Maid. So if you
Exactly.
associate treats with a Esso station, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Can we? What's the product you were buying?
Lick-a-Maid. Shut up.
What is that?
I think, what are they called now, you little kids?
I don't know.
It's like 2 packages of powder, 2
Uh,
packets of sweet powder,
It's like the
dip a stick.
Oh, like Fun Dip.
Yeah, and then there's like hot Fun Dick. They were
Fun
called
Dip.
Lick-a-Maid
That's it.
in my day.
Fun Dip.
And you'd take the candy stick out, you'd lick the candy stick, and you dip it in the powder. And
I will say that the naming hasn't gotten any better because the stick that you use in Fun Dip is called Lick-a-Stick.
there you go,
Lick a stick.
right? So
Yeah. Yep.
don't question me on my weird, dirty sounding candies from childhood.
Very well, then I will question Tara on this. Where do people go to watch Musical Tokens content?
Yeah.
We have a YouTube channel, so it's just if you search Musical Tokens, it will come up. We are on Instagram at Musical Tokens, and we're on Twitter at Musical Tokens. Oh, and our website, of course, which is musicaltokens.com.
And do you want to plug your personal socials where people can follow you?
I mean, I guess you can follow me on Instagram. Wow, can't take myself seriously. You can follow me on Instagram. It's at Tara T, and it's spelled TaraATee. And that's all my socials. You can find me.
Tara, this has been an absolute joy. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys. The funnest, the most fun.
Oh, you're
The most
joyous.
fun,
You're just
honestly.
joyous.
Before we go, I have to say some business things. We want to send a big thank you to our funders, the Calgary Arts Development, the Rozsa Foundation, and the Calgary Foundation. The intro music you just heard and the outro music you're about to hear is by Alexander Cowman, and all graphic design has been done by Morgan Ermter and Tara Jackson. Before we let you go, as you were forewarned, we like to end episodes with a breakfast-themed improvised question that actually we should probably answer this time because Tara answered her question too.
Yeah, okay, we'll all answer it.
That Karen makes up right here on the spot as she's a professional improviser. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Tara, you're writing a musical about breakfast. What's the title of it?
Excellent.
Okay, Griffin, you?
I hate to say it. I was also going to say excellent.
You got to come up with something else. You got to come up with something else.
It's too easy.
I'm gonna say vector,
Okay, cereal.
That's pretty good.
like that weird athletic cereal that you guys kept buying for me as a kid that I did not like.
I love that you looked over your shoulder into your kitchen for some inspiration there.
As if I had vector, but I promise I do not.
I would call mine like Love at the Denny's.
Oh,
like
that's great. That's great.
Yeah, that actually sounds really good.
It stars Tara Jackson and Tanaj Williams.
Yes.
And you play the waiter, Griffin, and I'm directing, and we'll do it under the guise of our Nepotism Theater Company.
Yes.
Karen is obsessed with me and her starting a company called Nepotism Theater.
Come on.
That's actually perfect
doing it.
because at least you're saying it outright, you know?
Right?
Right.
Yes.
Karen, do you want to plug your social medias?
Mrs. N. Diamond on Twitter, whatever you said I am on Instagram. I forget because I never go on my Instagram.
I think you're Karen Johnson Diamond.
Am I really? That's
I don't know.
fascinating. And Karen Johnson Diamond on Facebook.
I'm at Griffin Cork. It doesn't matter. Karen, what else is going on this week?
Here are a couple things happening this week, Griffin. The Calgary Underground Film Festival, CUFF, offers its annual 12-hour Halloween movie marathon on October 31st. How appropriate. October 31st, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Cuff is back at the Globe Cinema for their annual 12-hour horror movie marathon. 7 movies from 7 p.m. until 7 a.m. the next morning, including a costume contest and other surprises throughout the evening, like people jumping out at you from behind your seat and you didn't know they were there. I'm making that up. The tickets are $20 regular, $18 for students and seniors and members. It's at the Globe Cinema, 617 8th Avenue Southwest. COVID protocols are in effect, and their capacity is only 20%, so 75 seats per cinema. The other thing I want to tell you about is Dancing at Dusk, which is streamed online from October 21st to the 28th. Springboard Performances presents an interpretation of the Rite of Spring performed by a specially assembled company of 38 dancers from 14 African countries. It's part of the Fluid All Fall programming. You can go to springboardperformance.com for information, and tickets are $15.
An excellent collection of things going on this week.
Oh.
Well done, Karen.
Thanks. I'm glad you like what I curated there in that list that I just provided for you.
Right. You're being too obvious that you don't have it, and we had to edit it in later. For the breakfast dish, I have been Griffin Cork with my co-host, Karen Johnson Diamond. We've never ended it this way, but I guess this time we'll try it. And our lovely guest, Tara Jackson.
That's me.
Thanks, Tara.
Thank you.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
Bop, 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 bop. This has been The Breakfast Dish.